Hey everyone, it's Yuto from tbsp.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make delicious, rich and meaty Niku Udon. First, let's go over what we will need. This dish serves two, so you will need 2 portions of udon noodles. It's about 360 grams if it's the ready-to-use type udon, which is the type I'm using today. If it's dry udon, then cook 200 grams worth. Next, we'll need 150 grams of beef. This can be any cut, but preferably one with a bit of fat on it. Thinly sliced works the best for this recipe. Then 1/4 of a white onion and 2 tablespoons of chopped spring onion. We'll be marinating the beef and salting the onions, so for this we will use 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin, half teaspoon of sugar, half teaspoon of ginger paste and half teaspoon of salt. And for the broth, we will need 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 500 milliliters of water, 2 dried shiitake mushroom. You can use other kinds of dried mushrooms if you like. These are just to create depth of flavor. 1 tablespoon of mirin, 1½ tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar and half teaspoon of salt. Before we get started, if you are using dry udon, boil the udon now. Follow the instructions on package, but cook for a few minutes less than what it tells you. We will cook them for a few minutes more in the broth later. So let's get started with the marinating. First, put your beef into a bowl and add half teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin and half teaspoon of ginger paste. So what is Niku Udon? If you translate it directly from Japanese, it simply means meat udon. This recipe uses beef, but this dish can also be made with pork. I personally prefer beef for Niku Udon, but it's totally up to you. In Japan, we usually use end pieces of meat for this. Really, you can use any cut of beef or pork you like, but I do suggest using fatter cuts of meat. The fat kind of dissolves while cooking and makes the broth even richer and tastier. Set aside for 10 minutes. While the meat is marinating, finely slice the quarter an onion. And put it in a bowl. Add half teaspoon of salt. Mix and set aside until the beef is ready. Fry everything together until the meat is browned and onions are softened slightly. Now add 500 milliliters of water along with 2 dried shiitake mushrooms and bring it to the boil. Scoop up any foam that sits on the surface of the broth as it cooks. Once it's bubbling, add 1 tablespoon of mirin, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, and half teaspoon of salt, and then mix. After a few minutes, you can remove the dried mushrooms. Add the udon to the broth and mix. Break the udon apart as it's cooking. Cook for a few minutes until udon is al dente. We want it to be still firm to the bite, not too soft. Dish up and garnish with spring onion. And there you have it, tasty, rich and warming beef Niku Udon. Thank you for watching today's recipe video. If you enjoyed this recipe, please like and subscribe. You can see more recipes on our channel and website. The link is in the description below. Thank you again everyone. See you next time.